what was the craziest thing that you guys in the clique did?
Wow. You mean the clique combined, all five of us?
Yeah, just
Like, I mean, people, they bring up I don't talk about it too much, but like I'll mention it just because I mean I gotta own it. Like, the pooping in Sonny's deli tray. We'd all bring deli back or the.
Let me break this down for him, Sean. Back in the day, I'll set the story for you to do the payoff. Back in the day, we would go to the UK for 7 days, and then we'd go right to Germany for 7 days, or vice versa. We had a heel bus and we had a baby face bus to protect the integrity of the business.
Of course.
So anyway, when we got to the building, these towns are pretty far apart. So we would wrestle in one building, and as soon as we got to the building, we'd all go to catering and eat.
Catering is what I meant to say, not deli. Obviously.
Yeah, we all went to catering and ate our meal. And then you would get a container, a foil container, which was probably about 8 inches long and about 6 inches wide and about 2 or 3 inches deep. You would fill your to-go meal in that and then place a cardboard lid over the top of it and crimp the edges to seal it. And that's what you would eat later, either on the bus.
Also, you would also write your name on it.
Yeah, you'd write your name on it so you knew it was yours. And you'd crimp the lid down so that you could eat it either on the bus or in your room whenever you got hungry again. So that's these little containers that we would use. And everybody made a to-go meal because you had to, because there were long drives afterwards. So for some reason, Sonny had heat with a lot of the boys.
Yes.
So why did you guys decide, or what did you guys decide to do?
Well, let me tell you what the heat was over. She was complaining, pissing and moaning because we were cutting into her workout time, I guess, because we weren't getting on the bus on time for her.
Oh.
And we could be dicks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Like, we thought we were on a bit of a power trip. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, there's strength in numbers, and you guys were,
and
4 or 5 matches on the card.
Yeah, and I'm, and I kind of have that Kurt Hennig training instilled in me, and I don't know. Like, I guess somehow we, I'm not going to say we, because I got to take responsibility for it myself. It's nobody else did it. I did. But I was a bit of a follower back then. Somehow, that seemed to be a big enough offense for me to. And they knew they had heat, so they hid their stuff all the way across the arena.
Well, they had a kayfabe dressing room, so they had their stuff locked up, and there was a chain around the fence. So you scaled up over the chain link fence.
Thank you.
I
forgot about that.
Yeah, you scaled over and jumped through the chain link fence and proceeded.
What I did was I found the food, and I opened it up nice and carefully, and I pulled the chicken breast up, and I dumped the turd under the chicken breast, put the chicken breast back over it, and I took it back up, and I put it back in place nicely, and I climbed back over the fence.
Stop. So when you climb over the cage, a la Spider-Man, go down, find the lunch kit, remove the top. Do you just drop trowel and lay a turd from your ass, or had you put the turd in a transportable device?
No, I can't tell you whose turd it was, but it wasn't mine. And
so were you walking around with a turd in your hand?
To so-and-so spot, and there would be the turd in a container.
What kind of container do you carry? Stop. What kind of container do you carry a turd in?
I think this might have been even the same catering container.
Okay, gotcha. Y'all got a turd container to go.
Right.
So you remove the chicken breast, you lay the turd in.
Yeah. And right on the pasta, put the chicken breast back on top. Carefully recrimp it and, climb back over and business as usual.
So
you actually have a really funny recollection of things that I don't even remember, man.
Yeah.
Because you had me belly laughing when you were explaining how they sold it and everything. Because we I wasn't like trying to be go back to the scene of the crime. Like we just did it and just went about our business.
Yeah, but the thing about it was, I didn't know that you guys had shit in the lunch kit. I know the story how you got in there and all that now, but what happened was, I guess they had a duffel bag, and at the time she was with Chris Candido, who's no longer with us, who was wrestling as Skip. But anyway, so they put the lunch kit in the duffel bag, and these are the big tour buses that when you stop, the driver gets out and pops the side hatches. And so, man, when we arrived at the hotel, it's 3 a.m, whatever it was, and whenever we're overseas in Germany or UK, it don't matter what time we get to the hotel, whether it's 1 a.m, 3 a.m, or 5 a.m, they keep the bar open for us, and that's the way we rolled, and that's the way it was back in the day. Yeah. So, man, we were heading straight to the bar, but everybody had to get their bags first. And when they popped the hatches on that damn bus, it smelled like someone had taken a big steaming shit on the sidewalk, and it was a turd in the bag in the container that had Sonny's name on it. But they didn't know that yet, and I could smell that motherfucker like it was today. They went all the way up to the room, put the bags in the room. I'm assuming they took the lunch kit out and put it on the cabinet or whatever they had there in their room, and still didn't smell a rat, in this case, a turd. I guess evidently, as the story goes, I could have her come on and confirm this, but right. I guess about 3:34 in the morning, I guess someone got the munchies and went to open that motherfucker, and there was a big-ass stink pickle.
I didn't want to think about that part. Ugh.
But I just remember there was a phone call being made. Sonny was on a flight going back to the United States, and Chris Candido was hotter than a sumbitch. And I was with Davey Boy Smith. We kind of hung out a little bit together back in the day. And, Davey had that thick Manchester accent.
Right.
He said, man, there's going to be a lot of fucking heat about this. And I said, Chris is mad as a motherfucker. And I said, dude, what's he all mad about? And this Davey boy, I couldn't believe. He goes, what the fuck you talking about? What's he fucking mad about? He's shitting his fucking wife's lunch kit. And I was like, well, fuck, he didn't shit in his. He wasn't the one that was ribbed. Now I think if somebody shit in my wife's lunch kit, I'd be a mad motherfucker too.
Yeah.
So anyway, they shipped her home. Davey was ballistic, and the rib was what it was. But it was interesting.